right, I think we're gonna go ahead and get started today. My name is Tonya. I'm a teacher with Comeback Yoga. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization that serves veterans, their families, and their caregivers where they're at. We offer trauma informed yoga and meditation online as well as in person. So you can find us anywhere in the world online on our YouTube channel here. And if you want to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and you'll always get notified of new classes. We offer, I don't know, a lot of classes every week and a plethora of classes on the website. And so you can join us anytime. You can also join us in person. You can go to our website and find our in person classes that we're offering right now. Today is a rejuvenating chair yoga sequence. And you will need a bath towel um, for this practice today. And just as a reminder, just do what you can and just work with what you've got today. And it's okay if you're not okay today. Just maybe even sit out, literally sit out maybe a couple of the exercises if it doesn't feel right for you. But know that I'm here to support you, and you can always stop the recording and pick up on it later. This class will be uploaded in a little bit after the class ends, so you can watch it again and pick back up whenever you're ready. So let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and take the towel, and you're going to just kind of open it up and then fold it in half. So fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And we'll roll it up. So then you'll have a rolled up towel about like so, about the length of your torso, maybe a little shorter actually. And then you're going to place that behind you. So if I was leaning up against the chair, then I'd have the towel just along my spine, supporting my spine. Now, one thing I want to mention about using a chair in your chair seated um, sequence is that if your chair has a lot of give to it, it might not be as stabilizing. Um, so if there's a little less give to the chair, that'd be better. But of course, if you are in a wheelchair, then that's what you've got to work with, which is great. But have that towel behind, that'll give you a little bit more support for your spine. So let's just find our feet rooting down onto surface. It could be um, the floor. It could be anything that you can really connect your feet onto some surface. And let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. If you can breathe through the nose, breathe through the nose, letting the breath filter and warm. And it's helping to filter that air as it's moving to the throat, to the lungs, and then up and out. And if you'd like to explore what's called a 3-part breath, you can take one hand onto your abdomen, one hand onto your upper chest. And we'll breathe into the chest, feel the side ribs and then the belly. You can even lean back against that towel slightly. And then exhale, slight pressure of the lower hand, and then a slight release of that breath out. Inhale, drawing the breath in and down, expanding the abdomen, lifting the chest. Exhaling up and out, little contraction at the navel. 2 more times. Inhale, broadening the breath, taking it down and in, maybe a slight arch of the spine. And then exhale, maybe even a slight rounding as you press your back slightly against that towel. And one more time, inhale and exhale. Good. Now we're going to take our hands to the side waist or the side ribs. And you may or may not be able to feel your actual ribs, depending on how much soft tissue you have between the rib cage and the hands. So inhale, imagine those ribs expanding, sort of like an accordion. You can even widen the fingers, and then on an exhale, let those fingers draw back together as if the ribs are kind of knitting back together. Then inhale to expand, feel your body widen. Exhale and feel a slight narrowing, really at the bottom ribs here. So, this is where we want to move that breath into. Inhale to expand. You feeling the belly expand too. The belly lifts and broadens, and exhale, draw the belly in. Sometimes people call this the Buddha breath because it's an expansion at the belly, thinking of the Buddha and the big belly. Although there's some theories that the Buddha actually was thin, not as we imagine the Buddha. All right, one more breath in. And exhale, release. Good. And just place your hands on your lap. And just take note of how just the breath moving into the body when we really let it come in, how that the natural breath now wants to be. So you can just have a natural breath now. Eyes can be closed or open, and just sit with it for a moment as you really feel your feet rooting to the mat, to the floor, to whatever surface you're resting on. And what's great about the yoga practice and the breathing and really all of it, sometimes we think it has to look like a certain thing and don't always have to use a mat, don't always have to wear certain clothes. Could be wearing jeans, could be wearing sweats. That's the one thing that this practice, especially here with Comeback, can really support you and where you're at today. And assuming that you're practicing from home, that you're in a place of that's comfortable. All right. So if your eyes were closed, go ahead and lift them. Bring your arms to the sides. Turn your palms out. And then inhale, bring one arm up overhead. Exhale, take a just a reach up, like you're gonna reach for something in the counter, in the cabinet, or something way up. And then bring that arm down. Other side. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower your arm down. Inhale, extend the other arm up. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, arm lifts. Reach to the fingers. Exhale, lower your arm down. Inhale, reach up. And then this time we're going to take the other arm up to meet it. So inhale, reach up. And then just kind of like you're climbing or you're really reaching up for that thing at the top shelf, or maybe you're doing some climbing. Really reach up using your breath, pressing down into the feet, connecting to the surface, connecting to your chair, connecting to your breath. And we'll do just maybe one more, maybe give it a little extra if that's okay. And then come down, resting your hands on your lap. Just feeling your body awakened, feeling the vitality. Notice if you're feeling any tingling, could be in the hands, could be in those side ribs, it could be in the lungs. Just where do you notice Any sensation, maybe even the toes. Good. So we're going to do what's called robin's breath. It's my go-to almost every practice. So if you practice with me, you're going to get this almost in every class. So the palms come together. You still have that towel behind you if it's comfortable. Now, if it doesn't feel good, then you can remove it. So press the palms together, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, press against the towel as you round your spine, tuck your chin, and reach the shoulders and the arms forward. Inhale to pull the shoulders back and pull the arms back. Maybe look up. Exhale, round the shoulders forward, palms together, chin to chest. Inhale, bring the hands to the heart. Robin's breath. Exhale, arms forward, tucking the chin. Inhale, widen the arms, drop the shoulders down and back. Exhale, round the shoulders, round the spine, round the back. Inhale, hands to heart as you sit up tall, bringing the shoulders to neutral. Exhale, arms forward. Inhale, open. Feel that stretch maybe through the chest. Exhale, arms forward, just creating some mobility at your own range of motion, and hands to heart. Yeah, sometimes if we've had injuries in the shoulders, we just have to take care and do what we can do. All right. So we're going to bring the arms now out to the side like a cactus arms or goalpost, somewhere like a W almost. And still kind of feeling that towel behind you as long as it's not causing any irritation or discomfort. And we're going to bring one hand down and look to the other hand. So the palms facing down. Inhale, come back to center. Gaze is at the center, chin parallel to the floor. Exhale, look to the other hand to bring the opposite hand down. Inhale, coming back through center, and exhale to the other side. Continue. Inhale, arms to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more time to each side, going at your own pace, or certainly you can follow me if it feels right in your breath pacing, finding your respiratory rhythm, and then come back to center. Good. And bring the arms up overhead on an inhale. Exhale, draw the elbows down, 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 floating those arms down. Inhale, arms lifting. Exhaling, taking those elbows wide and down. One more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up like you're moving through thick air, creating some resistance. Good. And now bring the arms at shoulder height and exhale. Grab opposite shoulders, one elbow on top, and tuck your chin. Press your elbows down against the chest. Inhale to open the arms, remembering what arm you had on top. And then exhale, taking the other arm on top, crossing those elbows, chin down. Inhale, open. Again, just working towards your range of motion. And you might find that over time, your range of motion gets more range. Continue flowing with your breath, the pulsation. Inhale and exhale. And we'll just take one more round on each side. Trying to remember myself which side I started on. Ah, yes, it was this side. So I'm going to do one more. All right. And then go ahead and release the hands on the lap face up. And just pause for a moment. Again, just kind of anchoring the feet into the surface beneath you. Take a deep breath in, shoulders down and back. Exhale. Let that breath out. All right. So we've done a lot of upper body. In fact, all of our work so far has been in the upper body. So now we're going to focus a little bit more now on the lower body. So take one leg forward and rotate the ankle around in one direction and then going the other direction. And lower that foot down. Taking the other leg forward, rotating the ankle, snap, crackle, pop, maybe. Even if there is difficulty in moving the ankle, just even visualizing the movement of the ankle can be just as effective. A lot of times what happens too is we want to move the wrist, and that's okay too. All right, and place that foot down. Let's take the first knee and grab behind the knee or the hamstring, the quad. And as you push down into your opposite foot, exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest. And then straighten your leg forward. Pull the knee into your chest. Straighten it forward. Knee to chest. Straighten your leg forward. And knee to chest. One more time. Good. And lower the foot down. I'm going to adjust my blanket a little bit down so I have a little bit more stability for my core. I just realized I didn't have enough support there. So if you want to try that as well, depends on the size of your chair and how you are seated in your chair. So you want to feel stable. All right. So let's press down into the other foot. And exhale, draw your knee into your chest. And you're still pressing down into the other foot. That's going to really help give you that stability. Send your leg forward on an inhale, and then exhale, knee comes to chest. Inhale, straighten it forward. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale forward. And exhale, knee to chest. One more time. Good. And then placing your feet down. Come towards the front edge of your chair and place your towel on your lap. Just kind of place it right up against the belly here and bring your hands onto your thighs and maybe even on the front of the knees here. And we're going to just come forward till we start to feel the towel. And you might stay there. You could even place your forearms onto your lap. You could even come forward a little bit more over the legs, over that towel. And if that doesn't feel right or good on the abdomen there, then certainly you can remove the towel. Um, so this stimulation at the gut here is good for digestion. It's also good for stimulating the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve goes to all of our organs and helps to create uh, um, good organ function, proper organ function. So taking the breath a few more times against the towel, if that feels okay. What this is going to do is help to release the muscles of the back as well. All right, and then bring your hands back onto your lap and come all the way up. Good. And just pause for a moment. Sometimes that coming back up can make you feel lightheaded. It does me. So if that's normal for you, don't worry, it's also normal for me. So just find your breath. All right, we're going to take the towel now between the legs. And your feet should be as wide as the towel if that's comfortable. That might mean, maybe even making the towel a little wider. Just kind of notice what happens to the back there. So as you squeeze into the towel, breathe out and then gently release the tension on the towel. Try not to drop the towel. And then exhale, squeeze the towel again. Inhale, gentle release. Exhale, press into the towel. Inhale, gentle release. 2 more times. Exhale, squeezing, sitting up tall, pushing into the feet, and release. 1 more time. Good. And now a little tension on the towel. And we're going to take one hand, reach it up overhead. And then as you exhale, you're going to turn towards the opposite side, and you can bring your hand to the outside of the knee here. You can take your other hand to the side of your chair or to the back of your chair, whatever is closest, and push your hand gently against your knee there as you sit up tall, pushing into the feet. And come back to center. We'll take the other arm up, inhale. And exhale, squeeze the towel, bring your hand to the outside of the knee, and then maybe hand to the back of the chair or the side of the chair. Sit up nice and tall. Keep pushing down into those feet as you turn the chest. Keep breathing. And inhale, come back through center. And take both hands on your lap. I'll remove the towel for right now. All right. So walk to one corner of your chair, and our legs are going to come a little wider than the hips. Hands can rest on the thighs, and take an inhale, just kind of arch your back here, and then exhale, round. And as you round, slide your hands down to the front of the shins. Inhale and arch your back. Exhale and round, pushing into the feet. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. And this time we're going to keep rounding and maybe bring the forearms to the thighs. Maybe the fingers come to the floor, or if you had another prop there, another chair is good, or even anything. Could be a coffee table. I'm going to stay here with my elbows on my thighs. All right. And then press yourself up. Turn to the side of your chair. And then slide back maybe about halfway or all the way, depending on the size of your chair. All right. And we're going to take the outside leg down. So you might have to come a little more forward. You're going to walk the foot behind so that the knee comes underneath the hip. And again, this is really going to depend a lot on the chair you're sitting on, but you want to feel stable. So as you feel your feet connecting to the floor, the surface beneath you, see if that changes any sensation maybe on the front of the hip. And then you're going to take the outside arm, turn the palm open, And inhale, bring your arm up overhead and exhale towards the back of your chair. Inhale, come back up through center and exhale, lower your arm down. 2 more times. Inhale, arm lifts. Exhale to the side. Inhale back up and exhale down. Putting as little or as much effort into this to feel the body enliven, but to not create any pain. All right. So pause here for just a moment. Connect your feet to the earth. Feel your stability. Lengthen through the spine. On the next inhale, your outside hand here is going to come up overhead. Exhale, arm comes down. Inhale, arm lifts. Exhale, and bring your arm down. One more time. Inhale, arm lifts. And exhale, arm comes down. All right, we're going to do a twist here. So reach that arm up on an inhale and then exhale, reach forward. And then maybe your forearm comes to your lap, or maybe the elbow comes to your lap. Maybe the palms come together. You decide what feels good to you. Pressing your back hand either on the chair or on your lap. And then with your next inhale, arm lifts. And exhale, lower your arm down and walk around to the front. And bring your knees together. Come to the front edge of your chair. And we'll do some cat-cow movements, or it's basically our robin's breath, but without the use of the arms. So with your next inhale, arch your back, draw the shoulders down and back, and exhale. Bring the shoulders forward and down. Inhale, pull the shoulders back. You can slide your hands on your lap and exhale, rounding. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then come to neutral, sitting tall, connecting your feet to the surface, pausing just to create a sense of, how you're breathing, your respiratory rhythm. How is that feeling now? And how is your overall feeling? Do you feel any tingling in the hands? How does that side that was in the front feel compared to the other side? So noticing these contrasts. The beauty about this practice too is the resiliency. So when we're in a pose, we know it's not going to last forever. It might be uncomfortable, might be something new for us, but it doesn't last. And when we can alter our position and then notice whether or not that was good for us or not, and know that we can repeat it or we avoid it in the future. All right, and we'll walk to the other side, finding that lunge position. So coming towards the front edge of your chair, as long as you're stable, of course. So it might be more to the back, and you might even hold on to the back of the chair. One thing here is that the front leg, or the leg that's on the side of the chair, acts as almost like a leg on the chair. So that's where you're getting a lot of stability. And then we'll take the other leg back behind. So the legs are strong. So if this does require a little bit of um, muscling it, right? Um, but we're also trying to get some opening. So we'll take that inside arm, or that outside arm, bring up overhead, inhale, and then exhale, take a side bend towards the back of your chair, pushing into both feet. Inhale, arm lifts. Exhale, arm comes down. 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, bring your arm forward and up. Exhale, lower your arm down. 2 more. Inhale, arm lifts. Exhale and bring it down. I'm starting to shake a little in my back leg. So if you are, you might notice that too. Exhale, arm comes down. All right. Good. Now here's our twist. So your back hand's either on your thigh or on your chair or even to the back of your chair. Hold on. Inhale, the arm lifts. Exhale, reach forward, bringing the elbow, tricep, or the even the forearm onto the thigh. And then maybe bring the palms together. Otherwise, keep a hold of the back of your chair. Keep pushing into that front foot. That's going to help give you stability. Right. Inhale, bring your arm up. And exhale, arm comes down. Good job. Release that. And we're going to come to the corner of the chair, bringing the legs a little bit wider and hands onto the thighs. So here's our cat cow with the legs wider. So hands either on the knees or onto the thighs. As you inhale, lift your chest, draw the elbows back. And as you exhale, round, send the arms forward, moving the spine back. Inhale, lifting the chest, shoulders back and down. Exhale, shoulders forward and down. Sort of this rocking motion through the spine. And then the next one, we'll hold it, maybe bringing the forearms onto the thighs. Maybe you can touch the floor, or maybe your hands are on another prop. I'm hoping that you're feeling rejuvenated in this rejuvenated chair sequence. Always do what you can. Work with what you've got. All right, take one hand onto the lap, the other hand up, and we'll come to face the front. Towards the front edge of your chair. Take one ankle in front of or on top of the other ankle, maybe even bringing the ankle on top of the knee. And from here, you can stay here, or if you want a little bit more sensation, it's okay. Then start to hinge forward. So, in becoming aware of sensation, we can ask ourselves, will this cause any issue to our tissue? Is it a sharp discomfort? Is there, is it a warm sensation? Is it cool? What is the sensation? And is it something that we could sustain for a little bit? And does that sensation go away after a few breaths? And if it doesn't, then we might back out of it a little bit. We'll just hold for 2 more breaths. Sometimes these longer holds do ask us to be inquisitive. All right, and then come on up, grab that knee, bring it in towards your chest, and then straighten your leg forward, grabbing the back of the leg, and then rolling that ankle joint around again, going the other way. And placing your foot down. Second side, taking either the ankle to the ankle. It could even be ankle on the shin if you want to straighten your bottom leg, or the ankle to the knee. And again, if your feet don't come to the floor, either adjust your position forward, or you could even place your feet up on another chair or a book or something. And just kind of hinging forward if you like, or stay upright. Taking two more breaths here. And then bringing your knee into your chest. Straighten your leg forward, rolling the ankle around. All right. And then lower your foot down. We're going to go back to the first leg and cross at the knee. So if you've had hip replacement, usually you're advised not to cross the knees here. So adjust to your body body's ability. And another option is to maybe attempt to wrap the lower legs. If that's not possible, just keep the legs crossed here. You might even sit back a little bit in your chair. We're going to open the arms nice and wide. And then the same leg that's on top, you're going to take that arm underneath the other and grab the shoulders. Option is to find eagle arms where the back of the hands come together. Another option is where the fingers kind of wrap around one another. So just do what you can. We'll take two more breaths here, active through the feet, the legs. This is an eagle pose, eagle position. And then unwind, open those arms nice and wide, and hands come down. Unwind and rewind. And then we'll take the arms out wide. Same elbow that the leg is on top goes under. And grab those shoulders or back of the hands or the palms. And with your next inhale, open the arms and release your legs. And sit back in your chair, hands on the lap. And just pause for a moment. If you feel like you would like to use that towel again behind you, sometimes that can be a nice support. It just gives us that feedback to remind us to sit up tall. If you don't want it, then don't use it. Sometimes we don't realize that our posture, that we're slouched, and when we have a elevated posture and tall spine, it can actually help bring breath into the lungs, which can lift our spirits, it can energize our bodies, can make us feel more alive, more vital. I'm going to lead you now through a meditation. So get comfortable, and your eyes can be closed or open. And your hands can be anywhere on your chair or on your lap, anywhere that's comfortable. You want to feel your connection, your feet connecting to the surface. And just begin to imagine the top of your head touching the ceiling and your feet connecting to the earth, to the surface. And go back and forth between your feet connecting to the surface and your head touching the ceiling. If you're outside, you can imagine it just extending up to the sky, and not just the chin. Sometimes the tendency is to lift the chin up and think that we're touching that way. So I want you to see if you can bring your nose straight forward. And then on top of the head, reaching to the ceiling or the clouds, the feet pressing to the earth. Now, from the soles of the feet, bring your attention to your ankles and then press down into those feet. Bring your attention to the lower legs, the calves, the shins, and then press down into your feet. Bring your attention to your knees and then press down into your feet. Bringing your attention to the upper legs that might even be resting on the chair. Certainly, you could be lying down and then press down into your feet. Inhale. Bring your attention to your hips, your pelvis, your buttocks. And exhale, press down into your feet. Inhale. Bring your attention to your torso, your side, front, back. Exhale, press down into your feet. Inhale, bring your attention to your shoulders. Exhale, and press down into your feet. Inhale, bring your attention to your arms, your hands, your shoulders, and press down into your feet as you exhale. Inhale, bringing your attention to the neck, and exhale, press down into your feet. Inhale, the breath comes up all the way through the legs, the torso, the arms, the shoulders, the neck. Feel your head. And exhale, gliding the breath down all the way down to the feet and press down into the feet. From the soles of your feet, breath in all the way up to the head, sides of the head, the ears. Exhale and press down into your feet. Inhale, the breath draws in and up to the top of your head now, to the ceiling, to the sky. And exhale, press down into your feet. We'll continue to feel the wave of breath flowing from the feet to the crown of the head, your body expanding and progressively relaxing as you feel your connection to the earth. You're feeling the breath moving your body progressively coming into a state of ease with every breath. Your breath becoming more and more at home in your body. Your body becoming more at home in your breath. Your connection to the earth becoming more grounded, more rooted, and your connection to the sky more open and spacious. Your body and your awareness continuing to expand The breath flowing in, the breath flowing out. And like a wave, a cleansing wave, this wave fills you up, and then the wave empties you out. The wave expands, and the wave fulfills. Continue the wave, noticing the natural respiratory rhythm of your breath from the earth to the sky, from the feet to the head, to the sides of you, to the front of you, below and above. And continue just a few more rounds. I'll leave you in silence for about a minute. I won't do any talking. Continue to sense the breath, sensing your body, sensing the space around for a little bit longer in silence. And now start to notice any sounds coming into the ears, the sound of my voice, the faraway sounds, the distant sounds, and the more immediate sounds. And what else do you notice? Is there a temperature change? Is there a taste you might notice in your mouth? Is there any scent coming in through the nose? And then you can open the eyes if they were closed. And I'd like to share a brief reading with you this morning. It's from a book called Zen Soup: Tasty Morsels of Wisdom from Great Minds, East and West. This one is on responsibility. One of the great lessons of Zen is to take total responsibility for your own life. Unfortunately, many of us have been conditioned to believe, feel, and act as though the world owes us something. We complain that, as George Bernard Shaw put it, the world will not devote itself to making us happy. Zen says, why waste time and energy with regrets and whining? We have the gift of life and the opportunities of this moment. I once asked a Zen master for his philosophy of life. In reply, he said simply, I do not regret having been born. For me, it was a moment of illumination. When we truly celebrate and do not regret our birth, we embrace the whole of our lives, all of the suffering and the disappointments in life, all of the imperfections in ourselves and others have come from the fact that we have been born into this world. As the Taoists say, all things have mutually arisen. What we call the bad has arisen with what we call the good, what we call the happy with the sad. Yet in truth, as the poet said, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. When we give up the habit of making mental comparisons, we release our psychological investment in what we like and dislike and say yes to life, all of it, totally and completely. So I hope you've enjoyed this class today. And if you'd like to join the hands together in front of the heart with me, just taking a moment to accept life as it is right now in this moment, completely, totally as it is. The contrast of what we may call the good or the bad, and the happy and the unhappy. In this moment, at the center where the hands join together as a place of contentment that we can return to time and time again because of this practice that reveals our true nature, that reveals the breath, that reveals life. May you be well and find deep contentment and release the hands. And again, thank you for joining me today. My name is Tonya, and I hope that you will join us on Comeback Yoga again and again and again on our YouTube channel and subscribe. And you can also donate. There's a link in the captions below of how you can contribute to Comeback Yoga, a nonprofit organization, and continue allowing classes like this to come to people just like you. So, in health and wellness, I'll see you next time.